Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to my English class. My dear, today we are going to learn a new lesson, the C reading of biodiversity, the sixth unit of 10th standard, 10th standard, sixth unit English, in which we are going to learn today C reading. C reading, what is that? A tale of three villages. A tale of three villages. Actually, what is meant by a tale? What is meant by a tale? What did you understand by the word tale? Tale is something. You know what? We tell stories. We tell about something to someone. We tell about a situation. We tell about something. So we tell. If we name that tell, it becomes tale. You know what? Tell is a word. Tale is a noun. In Telugu, we say Ghadalu anamata, Ghadalu. Like the true incidents, true stories. It's not stories. Actually, the true incidents when we tell in the form of a story, that is called a tale. Now you understood what is tale? Okay. So today we are going to learn three tales of three different villages. So part of that, today, the first tale we are going to learn is all about Cocoa Village. Cocoa Village. First one is what one? Cocoa Village. Cocoa Village, Nigeria. My dear students, Cocoa Village is like any other village in Nigeria. Like same, pictures queue, full of noisy, everywhere smoke, and also we could not see any sophisticated flyovers, railway lines, or maybe sophisticated bus stops, or maybe buildings, or the dwellings. No, nothing. It's like an ordinary backward village. Cocoa Village is like any other village you can see in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country of which continent, students? Nigeria is part of African continent. So today, for the first tale, we are going to talk about Cocoa Village, which is a part of country Nigeria, African continent. So what happened there actually? In Nigeria, Cocoa Village, you know what? We are going to study about a person called Sunday Nana. Mr. Sunday Nana. Who is Mr. Sunday Nana? Mr. Sunday Nana is one of the villagers of Cocoa. Okay, he's a family man. He is a family man. He has 4 children. Okay, and let me explain you about the house in which Sunday Nana, his wife, and 4 children, along with, you know what, chickens. You know what? Chickens. Okay, these all live under one roof. And how is that house of Mr. Sunday Nana made up of? Walls are muddy. Walls are made up of what? Mud. And what is the covering over the head? The rooftop. The rooftop is made up of iron. Corrugated iron. Corrugated what? Iron. It is totally rusty. Like any other village, it's like common everywhere, students. When you look at the Cocoa Village, you can find as many as same kind of houses everywhere in Nigerian villages. Okay, so what is common? Like what is different that we should have to know about Mr. Sunday Nana? Mr. Sunday Nana's house, right in front, there are 3 empty drums. What are there? 3 empty drums. And how are the drums? The drums are red in color. The color of the drums is little flanked away. And you know what? There is a symbol. One skull and crossbones. Skull and crossbones. You know, when we come across this skull and crossbones, students, yes, exactly. On the transformers or electricity board, there will be, it's a danger. It's a symbol of danger. So the drums which are placed or right in front of the Sunday Nana home, same kind of drums on which this danger symbol is there. Okay, fine. So there are only 3, but right from the Sunday Nana's home, 200 meters away, 200 meters away, there is a water body stream. Like water body stream in the sense, like a drinking water facility which is available for the villagers. It's a clean water stream. They usually use that water for their drinking and also for their kitchen. Okay. So there, 200 meters away from the house, there are a large pyramid size of many drums which are identical like the same 3 drums which are there right in front of the Sunday Nana's home. Oh my God. And what is the situation and how are those drums, you know, students? Like, you know, the drums, a few drums are about to burst. Few drums are about to burst, as if like something, a reaction is going on inside the drum. A few drums from which green color, red color, orange color, some different kind of a liquid substance is flaking out into the earth, into the stream, into the air in the form of a smoke. In the form of what? Smoke. And a few drums are emitting smoke directly into the air. There are n number of drums which are arranged in the shape of a pyramid. You know pyramid shape? In this shape, large number, like many drums are there. And each and every drum, some substance from each and every drum, some sort of substance which is like, you know, orange, reddish, greenish, some liquid is coming out and it is going directly into the earth and also into the stream and also into the air. Got my point? They didn't know what is that actually. What are those drums? What is that liquid substance which is coming out that? And you know what? With few drums, the children are playing in the bushes. Oh my God. They are playing like rolling. See how, like, you know, they are totally ignorant. The villagers are not that developed. They are not that educated students. They didn't know what is there inside. Actually, where are these drums come from? 5 years ago, 5 years ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years ago, many a number of lorries came into the village 5 years ago on a fine Wednesday. On a fine Wednesday, 5 years ago, many number of lorries came there, and from morning to evening, they engaged in unloading these metal drums, which are there now, which are there arranged, scattered right next to the streaming village, like the water body, at the end of the village. All day they took to unload those metal drums. And after completion of unloading these drums there at the same place, as of now, I just explained the situation and the condition of those drums. They gave a brown color bag. You know what? Brown color bag. Gave it to the chief of the village. Like we can say that he might be a sarpanch of that particular village. In our India, we call him as a sarpanch. There they call him as a chief. So a brown color bag was received by the chief, and when he received that brown color bag, he was so happy. He just waved his hands to the lorries. Okay. What do you understand here? You will understand later, right? After this tale, you will understand at the end of this tale. On a fine day, before 3 months, like this story, the lorry story was like 5 years ago, students. Now, recently, 3 months ago, a boy came. A boy from the same village who is well educated. His name is Thomas Aganio. His name is what? Thomas. His name is Thomas Aganio. This boy started a university in Lagos, in the same country. He's a well-educated boy from the same village. One day, on a fine weekend, he came there to the village. He took a chemistry book in his hand, pen in other hand. He went where these heavy metal drums were scattered all over. He went there and he started noting some points in that. He was there, shaking his head, nodding his head. He kept writing many possible things which he noted by looking at the drums. The villagers thought that, what happened to that boy? That boy might have gone mad. Huh? What is this? Actually, that boy is the one who taught them the truth. He called for a meeting. He arranged a meeting in that Cocoa village. In that Cocoa village, this Thomas Aganio arranged a meeting. They called all of them. My dear villagers, I would like to tell you something. I've not gone mad from morning to evening noting something. You know what? That metal drums have poisonous chemicals inside it. That same poisonous chemicals have been released into your water which you are drinking. That same poisonous chemicals emitted in the form of a smoke which you are breathing. Your children are playing with those drums, and the water which you take, it is completely polluted your village. You know something? If you have to live, you got to leave this place immediately. This Thomas Aganio, who is one of the brightest boys and educated boy from the village, he told everyone in the village the same thing. So then our Sunday Nana, the narrator of the story, then the Sunday Nana, he caught his head like he was completely thrown, perplexed. Then he was recollecting, yes, exactly what the boy said is absolutely true. For the past 5 years, 13 people were died who were healthy. 13 people were died with a terrible pain. With a terrible pain for which there is no medicine. And we couldn't understand why these people are dying. Still, even though they are fit and fine. Now I understood why my children are sick. And my own elder brother passed away recently because of those blood chemicals, poisonous chemicals, which were released into our water, which were incurred in the soil, which we are breathing every day. That is the reason. Now I understood. And where these drums come from? These drums come from Italy. You know what? Italy. It might be in the Europe continent. He understood that. Immediately he complained to the government. But they do nothing. There is no use for that. And also they have written to the Italy government email. They emailed to the Italy government saying that your country's drums are here, poisonous chemicals, your country has discharged here. Come here and take away this. But they do nothing. Finally, the chief came. My dear villagers, let us migrate from this village so that we can save our lives. But Sunday Nana is like, he's a poor man. How can he buy new lands and how can he able to restart a new life? Pointing at the mountains, he said that, sir, where to go, how to go, and how to live. We cannot afford, sir, we cannot afford a new life going somewhere, buying a land and all. There our neighbors are there on the mountains, buried. We will also get buried there. This was the conclusion for their story. So, this is part of biodiversity because the environment is due to man's selfish act. A village people are going to die and many have already died. We are spoiling our environment. You know what? We are spoiling the environment for our selfish needs. So this is one story, students. I hope you must have understood very well. This is Koko village, Nigeria. Okay, the drums which have come from the Italy country were disposed here, due to which these ignorant people, they are living under poverty. They don't know. There is no one to question the government. There is no one going to ask what is there, what is that. They are illiterates. So they couldn't know what would have happened there. So simply, that Sunday Nana was the one amongst the villagers who know the painful truth, but they couldn't do anything. They'll have to die because already they might have drank the water which is already polluted. So that is the case. So now next, let me explain you another tale, students. The second one is Ponnimaturi village. The second tale which we are going to learn is Ponnimaturi village. Ponnimaturi village. And you know what? Ponnimaturi belongs to which country? Our own India. Might be from Tamil Nadu. Okay. So what happened in Ponnimaturu? Let us learn, students. Some NGOs or journalists have arrived to that place called Ponnimaturi. They inquired what is happening all around. They asked the people, why you people all are affected with the diseases and what's your problem? What are you all fighting for? An NGO or maybe some journalists from the reputed newspapers or channels all have gathered there in Pottimanturi village on a finest day. And one illiterate woman named Vijaya Sama. What's her name? Vijaya Sama. A woman from Pottimanturi village. What she was saying, you know, oh, my dears, let me tell you, her voice is totally angered. She has lots of trouble in her voice, and there was a huge sorrow in her heart. She told that, you know what, sir, with the journalist, you know what, sir, once upon a time, I can still remember, I can still feel that whole place where we are standing. This entire place was green everywhere, very pristine. There used to be good water facility and good water resources for all of us. We were so happy. Then came these monsters, pointing to some black flag. Black smoke is evolving from that monsters, like, you know, until it's not real monsters. According to her, what she is using that word, why using that word for that? They are all factories and industries. They are all factories and industries. They were built in the midst of the paddy fields. You know what? They're in Pottimanturi village. You know, then the journalist asked, why you guys have already, why you guys have gave permission without your consent? A industry or a factory will not be built, you know, established. You know that, right? Yes, sir. We all have signed that copy. We all gave permission to build that factory, that monster, that industry. They said this way. They said that in order to make bags, shoes, carpets, blankets, or something else, we need leather. We are going to establish a leather factory here. And you know what? People of Pottimanturi, your husbands, the men of your village will be offered a job in our factory. We felt so happy that every month we can receive a salary and we can develop our lands. We thought in that way. Then this journalist or the narrator of this Pottimanturi village concept tale, he said that, oh, that's it, you know. That's it that did to you, told to you. Yes, sir, that's all I know. And that's why we allowed them to build that industry in the middle of our paddy fields. So what happened there, you know? This journalist at the NGO, they said that, do you know people, Amma, Vijay Sama, do you know this? In order to make a leather or in order to convert the skin of an animal into a leather, they use 250 harmful heavy metal chemicals. You know that 250 different chemicals are used to tan leather from the skins of the animals. Do you know that? How many number of animals must have they killed? Do you have any idea? Sir, we don't know these all things. And you know what? 3 poisonous heavy metals were released from that factories. Do you know that? What are those? Cadmium, arsenic, chromium. Once again, I will report, students. Arsenic, cadmium, and chromium. These are poisonous heavy metal stacks which are released from the factories established there from the smoke which comes out from as in the form of the chimney stacks. Chimneys are there, no? From that chimneys, ante gottala nunchi veluvadina poga annamata. So those are called chimney stacks that directly released as a wastage into your fields, into your water, into your fertile land. Do you know this? Oh my God, really, now I understood why my children, my people of our village, we are all affected with the disease source. Sources are forming, and you know what, ulcers are developed inside our stomachs. The food we eat that became poison for us. Now I understood that because of that chemicals released into the water streams and the paddy fields, we are eating the same food which we grow here, and the same poisons are released into that water which we have for drinking. So that's why these are all effects. We are walking far away 10 kilometers to get fresh water. Oh my God, they really cheated us. And from now on, we don't use any leather bags, leather shoes, leather sofas or anything like that, made up of leather. That's what she said. You know what, students? So this is one kind of a tale which is rightly happened in our Pondimaturi village, Tamil Nadu, India. So this is one tale where people's act, they were giving away the food resource. In many of the movies you might have watched that. People establish factories and industries selling their lands. It is wrong. The food and water must not be contaminated by the act of the people, selfish needs. You got my point, students? Okay, this is the second tale. Okay, there's still we have a third tale that we're gonna listen. Just a minute, I'll rub the board. I hope you must have understood well. The character in this is Vijay Sama and their Sunday Nana. Next. The third tale, the tale of three villages. We learned about a village, Koko. The next village is Pondimaduru. And now we are going to learn another village, which is Morobio village. Students, this is a major disaster, major artificial disaster occurred in man's history. You can like whatever the story that I'm going to reveal or in the form of a lesson or this form of a tale, students, you can browse it in YouTube when you type Morobio village incident, accident, whatever. It is very clear, students. It's a dangerous act which took place in Ukraine, you know, Russia, near to the Russia, Ukraine country. My village name is Morobio village. What happened there, you know? One fine morning, like 1986, April 26th. It was Saturday. This is a date which marked as a black day in the lives of Ukrainians. You know, 1986, April 26th, Saturday. Students, what happened, you know? This village people, they usually well aware of the explosions which come from the Chernobyl. Explosions are very quite common for the people of Morobio village. But on this particular day, April 26, 1986, Saturday, the explosion was very large and very huge, students. All of them have all of a sudden when they were right engaged in their words, they suddenly went into panic and rushed out of the workplaces or houses into the open place. And they were all like, even though the explosions are very common there, but still on that day it was like massive and it was very big, it was resounded. The people went into panic and they came out stopping their works entirely, whatever they're doing, whatever they are doing. Suddenly, a smoke which is like in the form of a cloud. మేఘాల రూపంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక తెల్లటి స్మోక్ బయటకు వచ్చిందమ్మ న్యూక్లియర్ రియాక్టర్ నుంచి. There was a smoke which is in the form of a cloud released from the nuclear reactor. You know nuclear reactor. So due to which, that cloud splitted some powder all over the village. And that was a Saturday, in the Western countries, Saturday is like a weekend for all of them. The children with their families, they go to the garden and they chill in the forest areas, or maybe they will all rejoice. Saturday and Sunday is not a working day for all the Western countries. So Saturday the people are like, they were engaged with celebrations, or maybe students, they might not have school, and some families, they might have been engaged like in the gardens. They were all rejoicing that day as there is no work. So what happened, some dusting, that smoke released some white color powder and dust, which they are playing handful. The children are taking into a handful and they were playing like, hitting each other. They didn't think something, that is like usual explosion. What would be? That time they didn't know what was that actually, that one white powder which was released from the nuclear reactor. They don't know. So this story was being narrated by Natasha Levenko. This woman, she never forgets this day, because this is the day of her mother's birthday, and also on her mother's birthday, this tragic incident took place. What happened, sir? Just stop the suspense and tell us the actual thing. Students, you know what? Saturday, the incident took place, and the children, they don't know anything, and they played with that powder. Most of the people are like, they neglected what might be like a usual explosion. They thought on Wednesday, like after 3 days, on the 4th day, a van came from a van with a big siren. It came for a round in the village, saying that children must not be allowed outside. People are requested to wash their houses with the water, wash their streets with the water, clean your houses. In that way, the siren came in the form of a van, like morning to evening. They gave warning to all the villagers. You understood? Then they told that is like a radioactive powder, like radioactive powder, poisonous chemical. It's a nuclear weapon, man. It's like simple like nuclear weapon. The powder which is used in nuclear weapons. That white powder, what it done, to the children. This Natasha Levenko has 3 children. First day, after a week, like 4th day, they gave warning. Like within a week, like Saturday, by the next Saturday weekend, what happened to the children, Their hair started falling off. Their hair started falling off. Children became so weak and there were lots of sores appeared on their bodies. The children automatically became sick. They couldn't know what they wanted to do, like children, or like Almost they were completely on bed, and all the villagers, children and the adults and the children all are affected, and they were engaged going to the hospitals. Within a span of 3 days, these 3 children died on the same day. Not only these 3 children, most of the village people died within their 10 days of time. Died. And Natasha Revenko, she was weeping her apron and the place, she was one of them who is affected. While she was narrating this incident to the Moscow, Moscow, capital of Russia, journalists came from this place. They came here to inquire what has happened. So this woman, Natasha Revenko, is revealing the actual and the true story, what happened there. To the Moscow people, they came all the way from Russia to inquire that situation. So for them, she is explaining, Natasha Revenko. So what is that powder, Cancer causing powder. People die and the complete village turned into a graveyard. Smashana vatika ayipindadappa. A village, ee Oropure village anta kuda. There was no rabbit beard. There was no cow able to eat the grass. There are no plants. The plants all died because of that dispersal of that exposed powder into the air and onto the soil. There is no life. The life has already killed. There is no life everywhere. All the plants died due to the powder. No animals. Nothing is seen there in the village. People ran away. And you know what? This Natasha Revenko also knew that she is going to die in a few days. Because even she is also affected. The powder was already upon her with the children. She was there with the children. Obviously, she might be exposed to the same powder, like that smoke that killed the entire village. This incident is one of the tragic incidents in the world, which took place in the Ukraine country. And this woman, Natasha Revenko, she was crying a lot while telling this incident, narrating to the Moscow journalists. Isn't this incident is purely the act of a man, my dear? Think now, why these 3 disasters or whatever the harm which was caused to the people. In Bhopal also, in Madhya Pradesh in India, that place also it was affected by the Bhopal gas tragedy. Because of that gas, most of the people died like some in 90s. That's why industries and factories are to be established in some place where the people must be very away, must be away from living. That has to be told. And one more thing, the government must not give permission to such kind of industries or practice which may cause a threat to the mankind or habitat of human life. Is it clear, students? These are the 3 tales of villagers who experience a tragic life because of the human act. We ourselves polluting our world, we ourselves killing the mankind because of manufacturing such kind of chemicals. All right, students. I hope you must have learned this and understood very easily a tale of 3 villages. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, my dear children. For any doubts or any queries, you can watch the video once again. Thank you.